you can post your queries on the Q&A forum on LMS, because the issue is sometimes I used to give the email IDs, but then what happens is I will be traveling and there will be a lot of time delay in responding, so that will confuse the students. So to avoid all of that, you can post it in the LMS. There's a Q&A forum that is accessible by all the trainers, so somebody will respond to you. Priyanka, you have created another AdWords account to complete the campaign, so I was getting an error in detail with the account. Okay. While we are creating the ad, going to describe its description, can we write more? No, the character limit, what appears next to the line, that is maximum that you can write on that line. So you can't exceed it. Tanvi, you're having an issue with the blog. Is it with respect to blog creation, Tanvi? Putting up content. You mean posting content on your blog? I see. So unfortunately, we can't take it up in this session right now because we'll be talking of AdWords. Maybe we can connect during the break or after the session, Tanvi, to take it up. Otherwise, because it's not directly relevant. Just remind me, I might forget. So, all right. So, anybody else? Okay, I think few more people are joining in. I think one of you have not updated your name. Can you please update it? I can see waiting for name. Martha, we are saying created a blog on social issues. Now I don't know what ads I can run for that kind of a site. So if you're having a blog on social issues, if you're, let's say you're having 5-6 posts on unemployment, for example, you can create an ad about that. So basically, who would like to read? That is what you need to ask yourself. And accordingly, also if somebody who might be interested in reading upon social issues or some analysis, you need to frame your ad that way. There are a lot of people, a lot of contemporary current affair blogs which are having good readership, right? So the kind of people they attract are people who want to know about those kind of issues. So you need to write your ad in that manner. Fine. Okay. So I think last class we entered with search campaign creation. Sorry, optimization, right? How to optimize the campaign that you created. Okay. Now today we are going to look up. Okay, let me share the screen first. Today we are going to look at display network. Okay. So till now, week 1, we looked at search network. Now we are going to look at the display network. This is the topic that we intend to cover for today. What is Google Display Network? What are the targeting options that you have on display network? The smart display campaign topic I will be taking up later because it's a slightly advanced topic. So we will take it up after the next week's module. And then we will be looking at the different ad formats that are available on display network. Then we will go ahead and do a demo campaign creation, like how we did for search campaign. We'll create a campaign for display network. And finally, remember conversion tracking. We'll be looking at how to create a conversion tracking code. And as part of that, we'll also look at remarketing. So if we don't have enough time to cover remarketing today, we might take it up next week. Sarabjit, if you're talking of the description line on the AdWords ad, the character limit that is coming up next to it, as you keep typing the character, it will say these many characters remaining, right? That is the maximum you are allowed. You cannot have more than that. Okay, does that answer your question? So if 80 is the characters you are allowed in the description line, you can have only that much. If 25 is what, or 30 is what is allowed on the headline, that's the maximum you can write. But you can always add other ad extensions to add additional information. Okay. So what you are seeing on many of those ads may not be the actual ad. The first three lines are the AdWords ad. What comes below that in terms of site links and other things or call out extensions, these are all different types of ad extensions which we have discussed in the first class. Okay. If you are having specific examples of any ad you may have come across which you believe have more than 80, please post it in the Q&A forum. We will take a look at it and we'll respond. Okay. All right. So shall we start for today's class, display network? I think everybody has logged in. Yeah. So as usual, make sure you have a notepad and pen handy. There'll be a lot of questions, a lot of new terms that you'll be coming across. So Google Display Network. So Google Display Network is part of Google Network, right? In the first class we discussed, the moment you use the AdWords platform to create an ad, those ads are eligible to appear on Google Display Network. Sorry, on Google Network. And this Google Network consists of two different networks. I hope all of you remember. One is the Google Search Network and the other is the Google Display Network. Google Search Network consists of what all? Can somebody recall? Quick recap. Okay. Now, what I was meaning to say is Google Search Network involves what kind of networks? Google.com, that's right, Vanessa, the search pages, and the search partners. Very good, Tanvi. Search partners will be other search engines like about.com, AOL, all these things. That's right, Shikha and Sandeep. Okay. Now, we also saw there is another network which is much more wider, which is called the Google Display Network. Now, what is this display network? The display network consists of some of Google's own properties like YouTube, Gmail, Blogger, all these things, as well as over 3 million partner websites and mobile apps. So if you go to, let's say, New York Times or Times of India or let's say BBC or ESPN, you see a lot of image ads, video ads, text ads coming up on these websites, right? So most of these major websites are part of Google's display network, which means the ads that you create on a campaign that is targeting the Google display network are eligible to appear on these websites. And not just websites, they can also appear on the mobile apps. When you open a mobile app like Book My Show or Zomato, right? You might see there are certain ads that are coming up within the app. Have you noticed that? These ads are all AdWords ads being targeted to the mobile apps because those apps are part of the Google Display Network. Okay. So compared to the search network, you also have a wide variety of ad formats, which we will see in the coming slides, like text, image, video, rich media. A lot of these ads formats are able to be used on Google Display Network. And what you see on the right hand side called Google AdSense, we won't go into detail of it, but just understand that just like how an advertiser makes use of the AdWords program to create ads to target these websites and apps, if you are a publisher here means if you are a website owner or a mobile app owner who allows AdWords ads to show up on your website or app, you can sign up with AdSense to allow these ads to show on your website or app. So that's how you monetize your website or app. If you want to earn money, if you are having a good website with a lot of traffic, a lot of people coming in, and you want to allow these ads, you need to go through AdSense. So you sign up with AdSense, open an account with it, and allow these ads. Every time people visit your website, click on the AdWords ad, Google will pay you a commission. Okay. But we are not going to discuss in detail because it's a different product altogether. But I'm just mentioning it in the context of because display network involves mobile apps and websites. Is this clear? Any doubts so far? Can I see a yes if there is no doubt and everything is clear? Okay, thank you. So let's just see a video on display network.
Have you ever wanted to advertise on popular websites or promote your business with images and video? You can with the Google Display Network. The Display Network is a collection of more than 1 million websites, smartphone apps, videos, blogs, and other online destinations that show AdWords ads, giving you the opportunity to reach more than 80% of all internet users worldwide in more than 30 languages and 100 countries. Or someone with very specific tastes and interests.
Is the audio clear, guys? Are you able to listen? Okay, I'll share the link after the video plays. Okay.
Let's take a look at how a typical business uses the display network. Ted has created an image ad that shows off the tour packages he sells. Ted already advertises on the Google search network, so he uses his search network keyword list to get his ads up and running on the display network. AdWords matches Ted's ad to display network web pages based on his keyword list and other factors. This means that Ted's ad can show up on travel websites and on forums discussing cool places to go hiking. There is another way to manage your ads on the display network. Topics. With topics, you can pick and choose specific themes of web pages on the display network where you want your ads to show. Ted uses topics to target travel and hiking themed web pages. With more than 1 million online destinations to choose from, the display network gives you powerful new ways to reach people who want to hear your message. For more information about advertising on the display network, visit the.
So this is the link if you want to bookmark the link. But is this clear, guys? Whatever any doubt regarding what you saw in the video? All right. So let's go ahead and see this in detail. First of all, why should you target Google Display Network? Let's start with that basic question. So these are just some data to show you the trend of internet usage by people around the world. As you can see, as per what's highlighted over here, videos watched by YouTube users amount per minute about 41,46,600, searches through Google around 36 lakh. Okay. Similarly, what you can see on the right hand side is the growth over time from 2012 to 2017 minutes per day. So the consumer is constantly connected to internet, even if they may not be active all the time. And even if you look at the usage of internet for consumers, or even for ourselves for that matter, think about of all the time that you're connected online, how much time do you, what quantum of time do you spend on search, and how much do you spend on other websites or apps? Definitely it should be higher, substantially higher on other websites or apps. Am I right? So it becomes important that as a marketer, I have to reach out to my potential clients or consumers when they are spending their time on other websites. But I need to be smart about it. Yeah. Okay, so Madhav's question, let's say I have a website for travel packages and I allow Google ads on the website. How can we not allow other tour operators ads on my page? So I'm not taking that question right now, Madhav, because you are asking a question which is a question from the publisher side. We are looking at the perspective from an advertiser side, right? So the answer to your question is more with regard to how you use AdSense. Okay, so I can help you with understanding from a marketer's perspective. If you are a travel packaging company, okay, or a travel company, how is it that you are able to, how can you target a particular website or a particular blog where your competitor is also showing their ad? That will be the kind of questions that will be helpful for our discussion. Okay. The other things relate to but to just give you an idea, as a website owner, I can decide what kind of ads can show up. Like for example, I can decide that I want only text ads to be shown on my website, or only video ads to be shown, or any type of ad can be shown on my website. So those are there, but we don't want to go into that discussion because it's not related to SEM from the marketer's point of view. Okay. Maybe if you take up the course on AdSense or something like that, you will be able to go into more detail about what are the things you can do as a publisher if you allow ads on your website. Okay. Here we are going to learn how you can target the websites which are relevant for your business. All right. So I hope this is clear. Majority of the time spent by users is outside of search engines, which makes it very important for a marketer to reach out to them when they are on other websites or mobile apps. So when you're not on search, what do you do on internet? You might be on YouTube, you might be on some news websites, you might be just watching Netflix or some other entertainment, you might be playing games, right? Or just reading up stuff. These are all the different possible popular options that people go for. Anything else you would like to add here? Not just that, the entire Google display network, if you look at it in terms of the number of internet users that you are able to reach, I think somebody's microphone is on. Okay, I'm muting. Yashi. Yeah. The Google Display Network can reach more than 90% of the total internet user base, potentially. Okay. And if you look at it device wise, you can reach more than 95% of internet users on desktop, or about 83% on mobile. And across platforms, if you look at it, it has a reach of about close to 95%. So the Google Display Network is so huge and so vast that it is number one across devices in terms of the reach you can attain to the internet audience. Okay. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? What's your take? Good thing? Can somebody anticipate a potential bad thing about it? Not bad, but challenge, so to speak. Google monopoly. No. I'm talking of in terms of from a marketer perspective. It's good, like Vanessa says, because you are able to potentially reach so many people. What could be the challenge as a marketer of having such a vast network? Just give it a thought. Yashi, my question is, we just said display network is so huge, you can reach up to 95% of internet users, right? Across devices. So I was asking, are you able to think of any challenge as a marketer because the network is so vast? Sandeep says targeting. Okay, that's a very good answer. So if I'm having a very vast network before me for my ads to show up, don't you think it also becomes a little tricky to make sure that I reach the right audience? Relevancy. That's right, Tanvi. So I might easily get a lot of impressions. A lot of people may see my ad, they may click on it. But what's the guarantee that those people are people who are really interested in my product or service? Because I'm not showing my ad in response to their query. I'm just showing it on different websites and apps, right? So targeting becomes very, very important and critical in the case of display network. You have to be really fine-tuned for and understand who your audience are to define your targeting options, which is also why the display network offers a lot more targeting options than the search network. Okay, we will see them. So reaching the right audience is the key because it's such a big network. So the data needs to be meaningful, meaning The people who are viewing your ad, the people who are clicking on it, they should be people who have some interest or some uh, inclination towards your product or service. Otherwise, you are just wasting your money. Do you agree with me? Okay. So we have come to the understanding that getting the right audience and reaching out to them is very important on display network. Now, what can we do about it? Let's see. So the other user behavior that is very common is these days, because the consumer is constantly connected to the internet over their mobile phone, laptops, iPads, and everything. Every time, it's not necessary that somebody will see an ad on laptop and then they visit the website on laptop, convert on laptop. Not necessary, right? I might come across a ad for the first time on my mobile device. I might just scroll to the website, I may bookmark it or whatever, and then maybe I will log on to my laptop and then visit the website directly and I might purchase something. Don't you think that's a very common user behavior? So the user is engaging with the advertiser or the service provider across multiple platforms, across devices. Yeah. And AdWords has the technology to help you track across devices. So cross device tracking is very seamlessly done on AdWords. So you will be able to track from which devices you are able to get maximum responses or engagements and conversions. Is that clear? All right. Now, having given an introduction to this display network, I'm putting up a statement. The click through rate or CTR. What is click through rate? Clicks divided by impressions into 100. Click through rate is generally lower on display network as compared to search network. Why? Can somebody guess why? Do you think the statement is true? If you think it's false, you can say that also. That's fine. I have given out the answer for this question in between my description of display network. If anybody remembers, you will be able to pick it up. Pull versus push. Please explain, Mathav, for everyone. What do you mean by that? Shikha, with search network, the user is looking for the solution right away in GD and he or she just happens to see it may not click. Very good. That's right, Madhav. So both Madhav and Shikha has answered it correctly. Basically, if you look at search network, the ad is being shown in response to a query by the user. So who initiates the ad or who initiates the entire process? The end user, right? If I type in something like, let's say, yoga class or tarot reading or shoes, something, only then I'm able to see the ad relevant for that query. So which means in search network, as Shikha and Madhav rightly said, the user is looking for something proactively and they are seeing an ad in response to it. So there's a greater likelihood that they may click on it. Do you agree? When I'm actually looking for something and somebody offers me something that I need, there's a greater chance that I will take it up. Correct? As opposed to on a display network where, let's say, I'm opening a Book My Show app to book a movie ticket today, and suddenly I see an ad for a new mobile like Oppo. It's a very common ad that's coming up these days, right? On this app. So I opened the app to book a movie ticket, not to buy a mobile phone. So there's a lesser likelihood that I will click on the Oppo ad and then go and make a purchase of the mobile phone. As opposed to my own behavior on search network when I'm actually looking for a new mobile phone and I see an ad for Oppo, there's a greater chance that I will click on it. Do you agree? So on display network, in general, the CTR tends to be lower than search network because of this kind of a user behavior. So that is not to say you won't get any conversions or anything from display network, but this is the general trend. Okay. All right. So because people have different goals when they are on display pages. When they are on display page, they are browsing for information and they're not searching for information with keywords. Which also means when you keep track of this metrics, performance metrics, if you find low CTR on your campaign targeting the display network, don't conclude that your ads are not performing well. That is an expected behavior. Okay. Secondly, does the ad performance on display network affect your ad performance on search network? Like let's say quality score, cost per click, ad position. What do you think? It should not. Okay. Don't think so. No. Anybody? Okay, you're right. Answer is no. Both are different networks. Your performance on one network does not affect your performance on the other network. Okay. Now, as I mean, I don't know if some of you who may have used the AdWords interface previously, you may notice that few months back, AdWords switched to a completely new interface, which is what we are seeing when we look into the AdWords account now. So, some of the features which were available in the earlier interface are yet to migrate to the new interface. So this was updated 1 month back. So there could be some changes, but just to give you a heads up that if you were familiar with the previous interface, there are certain things which are going to be transitioned soon to the new interface. That's all. Nothing more than that. So that brings us to the display network campaigns. How do you create a display network campaign? From the campaign page, you click on that plus sign, like how you did for the search campaign. Among the campaign type options, you select display network. Okay. And the display campaigns targeting options. That's what we are going to do. So in display network, there are many ways of targeting. Okay. So before we go into that, can somebody tell me what is the main method of targeting in search network? What do you use for targeting a potential client or a customer on search network? That's right, keywords, right? You create those set of keywords which are very relevant to your product, which you anticipate is something that your potential client will describe when he or she searches on the google.com website. Yeah. And those keywords will trigger your ad. I hope everybody is clear about that. Okay. Now, as I told you, in display network, targeting becomes important. So we have a lot more options. I'll take you through one by one. Broadly, there are two types of targeting. You can target people based on where they are, meaning you can target users based on their interest or let's say their behavior. That is one way of doing it. Or you can target pages like websites or apps. So first one is where they are. Second is where they have been. Where they are is if I am on a sports website, if somebody is targeting ads to the sports website, depending upon where they are, where I am seeing the ad. Now in behavioral targeting, let's say I have browsed a website for new mobile phones and now I'm on a sports website, I start seeing ads for mobile phones. That ad is being targeted based on where I have been, based on my behavior. Are you able to get the difference? So as a marketer, I can target a user based on their behavior, which means what kind of behavior they have shown online, where they have shown their interest, all these things. Or I can show an ad to a user based on where they are at that point in time by targeting a certain website or a certain app. Is this clear? Two ways. Yes, no. I'll repeat. I can target Yashi. Let's say I'm creating a campaign for my yoga retreat. Okay. Now I want to target you and show an ad for you. Okay. So let's say you like traveling. I'm assuming you like traveling. I can target a category of people based on their interest in traveling, which will include you also, right? So Yashi, if you are, let's say, reading news on the Hindu website or Indian Express or something like that, and you start seeing my ad for a yoga retreat, then that ad is being shown to you not because you are on that website, but because you match my criteria for a person with a particular interest and behavior. Are you able to get it? At the same time, I can show my ad, I can target my ad to popular travel blogs, popular travel websites, in the hope that people who visit that website might automatically be interested in those kind of things. So if you are on a travel website and you are seeing that ad, it could be because, or somebody else is, let's say Sandeep is on a travel website and he sees my ad. It's not because he may have an interest in traveling, but purely because I have targeted that website. So based on where he is seeing the ad. Okay. The two. So in one case, my targeting is focused on the website or mobile app. In the other case, my targeting is focused on the person. Are you able to get the difference? We will come to that. How we do, we will come to that. But have you got the concept? Vanessa, so you can choose to have your ads appear in certain websites. That's right, Vanessa. Okay. So let's look at these. The first part is contextual targeting. What is contextual targeting? Contextual targeting is when you target a certain page or app. Okay. So there are three ways of targeting contextually. First way is just like in search campaign, you can use keywords. So when I'm creating a new campaign, select display network. At the ad group level, I can create a set of keywords. But there is a difference in the way the display keywords work. In the case of search network, what happens? I type in something like uh, plan a vacation in Kerala or something like that. Okay. Now that is my search query. Now in response to that search query, any AdWords account which is having an ad group relating to vacation in Kerala or something like that, it will trigger an ad. Yeah. In the case of display network, it's different. Nobody is searching for anything. Yeah. So what happens is when I create a set of keywords for my display campaign, so the keyword list will be somewhere between 10 to 20 keywords, right, in one ad group. The system will look at the theme of the keyword. Okay, what is the overall theme of this keyword list? So if the overall theme of my keyword list is Kerala, holiday, vacation, something like that, the system will then try to match this theme with the theme of a relevant display network, website, or mobile app. So let's say, Yashi, you are running a travel website where you're offering vacation plans and travel plans for people who want to travel to Kerala. That particular page and its theme will match with my ad group's my keywords theme. Do you agree? Yes? No? Are you with me till now? Now, when that happens, my ad from that ad group will be eligible to show on your website or mobile app. So that is why it's called contextual targeting. It will just look at the context, the theme of your keyword list, the theme of the display network app or website. If it matches, your ad will compete with other advertisers to show up on that page. Is that clear? Everyone? Any doubt? So a single keyword is not what is triggering, it's the overall theme of the keyword list, which is again why we are saying the keyword list should be very tightly themed. Okay. The second way of targeting in contextual targeting is by targeting certain topics. So we will see it when we create the display campaign right now. In the demo, you will see when you select topic targeting, there's an option called topic targeting. The AdWords system will give you a drop down menu with a lot of topics to select from. So if you have a topic like travel, it means a web page whose theme has been considered or concluded to be relating to travel is the one that will be targeted by your ads. So I don't have to use keywords at all. I can simply select topics. I can select a topic like vacations or camping or travel, whatever, depending upon what is available in your list. You can select it. And your ads will be targeted to pages which are matching that topic. Is that clear? In the third case, in the managed placement, you can pick and choose your website. So in topic targeting, you are only selecting a topic like travel or gardening or movies or whatever. System will decide which website to show your ad on. Whereas in managed placement, you can search for and select websites or mobile apps where you want your ads to compete and show. Is this clear? So if I find that, okay, the Yoga Alliance website or the Yoga Journal website is a very popular website, a lot of people who are into yoga come there. I may want to show my ad for my next retreat on those websites. If it is part of the display network, I can select it from manage placement option. I can search for it and select. Is this clear? So all the three options that we discussed just now are about targeting specific pages based on their theme. I hope you understood that part, right? The first two that you're seeing on the top of the screen are targeting based on the user type. So you can target people based on their demographic peculiarity, meaning you can target people belonging to a particular age group. There are many age categories that are available. Or you can target people based on their gender. So if I'm having a product like some shoe which is only for men, I don't manufacture shoes for women, I can target demographically only men, exclude women, so that my ads show up only for users who are men. And audience here refers to certain interest categories. Like I can select a category like book lovers or travel enthusiasts, okay, or music lovers, and there are subcategories for music also. So based on what users have indicated to be of their long-term interest, I can target people. Now how will AdWords know what is their long-term interest? Based on their browsing data and other things. So if you go to your Google account, the actual Google account settings page, there is an option where you can opt out of what is called interest based advertising, IBA. I don't know if any of you have noticed that. So I think by default you might be opted in it, which means whenever you share something on Google or you like and you visit certain websites, your user data is being captured and made available to advertisers who can target you based on your interest. So Google does it to show you more relevant ads based on what is your interest. So that is how we get this data. So we won't know anybody by uniquely. I won't know that, okay, Priyanka likes this or Mrinal likes this. I can't know like that, but I can generally target people who are liking books, people who like to travel, people who likes gardening, or who likes adventure movies. So these kind of categories I can target. And if you fall in that category, you will start seeing those ads. Is that clear? Any doubts? Can I see a yes, no, clear, not clear? Okay, good. So to give you with some more examples, if you're not signed into Google, of course Google can't target you like that. That's why many people go incognito and all these things, no? Um, or they clear cache and cookies, opt out of these networks and all that. That happens. So keyword targeting, it's like this. So let's say I'm having a product like dog food. Okay. So in my ad group, when I create keywords, I create a set of keywords like dog food, food for dogs, pet food, branded dog food. All these things will be the kind of keywords that I'll be creating. Now, in display keywords, how does it target? Contextual targeting. Can you recall? It will look at this entire keyword list, and if you look at it, what is the theme that you're getting? What is the one theme that is evident from this keyword list? Dog food or pet food, whatever. Yeah. Now the system will try to target those web pages or mobile apps or YouTube video channels or videos whose theme match with this, maybe pets or dogs or dog food or pet food. Okay. And your ad will show there. That is one way. What you're seeing below is topic targeting. I told you in topic targeting, you will see a list of topics. So there is one topic called pets and animals. If you go further down, there is something called animal products and services. So that seems to be the closest match. So if I select animal products and services as the topic I want to target, what happens is, again, system will look out for web pages, mobile apps, videos, or YouTube channels, video channels, which talk about that topic, animal products and services, and your ad will be shown on that page. This is how the content targeting works. Contextual targeting, sorry. Yeah, are you clear about this keyword and topic targeting? Managed placement is like this. You make it very clear, I want my ads to show up only on very specific websites or parts of a website or apps or videos or in this particular YouTube video channel. If you have that kind of specific requirement, you can go for managed placement targeting. So you can search for those websites or apps or video channels and select them. We will see it when we look at the demo. We will look at how to do this. Okay. So in the display campaign creation, this is the page where you can select the audience. So now we are going to look at how to select a target people using their interest category. So in audience targeting, it will give you three options. You can target people by their affinity, intent, and remarketing. Okay, remarketing or demography. So affinity means interest. People who have shown a long-term interest in something. So if you take up affinity, click on affinity, it will give you a list of drop downs like book lovers, uh, movie enthusiasts, music lovers, travel enthusiasts, lot of categories. You can select from that. Intent refers to people who are currently actively researching certain products. So let's say I don't have any, I have never shown any long-term interest in health and fitness. Okay, but maybe I have got a sudden realization, it's new year time, and I believe that okay, now I should take some new year resolution, I need to be fit and everything, and I suddenly start researching for new gym memberships that are available, some discount offers for the new yoga classes for new year and all these things. So suddenly I'm searching for certain products or services for which I have never shown any long-term interest. So I will never fall under a health freak or health and fitness enthusiast under affinity targeting. I will not figure in that category if somebody targeted me. But currently I am actively researching for these products. and I'm on the verge of conversion. Okay, are you getting the picture? The intent targeting consists of this kind of people. They may or may not have shown that long-term interest in something, but currently they are actively doing product comparisons, price comparisons, searching for things, all these things. So that's one way of targeting people. Okay. Remarketing involves if somebody visits your website, did not make the purchase or sign up for something, they go back. If you want to specifically target people who visit a particular page on your website or viewed a particular product on your website, you can do it using remarketing. This is what most companies do. That's why when you go to a travel, like today morning I was checking for flight tickets from Cochin to Hyderabad. Now I'm pretty sure I didn't book the ticket. If I go to any other website, I'll start seeing ads for Cochin to Hyderabad for the same date that I was checking. That is remarketing, because I have become part of a remarketing list which they have created, where I looked up the travel fare for a particular route. Now that I have gone out of their website, they'll be targeting me with some special offer or whatever. You may have seen this in other websites also. In Amazon, if you look up some, let's say some pen drive or books or something, the moment you leave out of it, you start seeing these ads following you. Correct. That's right, Shika. Yeah. So sometimes we also try to trick them, because typically during remarketing ads, they try to lure you back to the purchase page with some discounts and offers. So sometimes what we used to do as friends is we used to wait for these ads to come up with some discounts and then go and purchase. Okay. So that is some, but otherwise it's little irritating also. You will see these ads going around for some time and then they'll stop after some time. Okay. So that is about audience targeting. I think Madhav asked something. In keyword, Google deduces the topic from theme of keywords. In topic based targeting, we explicitly choose the topic. Correct. That's right. Okay. Yeah. In demographic targeting, what happens is you can target people based on their age, gender, even parental status, or household income. Household income you can target for a US audience. It's not available for India. And in the content targeting, you can target people using their keywords, topics, and placements, which we already discussed. Any doubts regarding these, guys? We will see how to do. We will see when we do the demo. But as a concept, any doubt? All this why we have hated all these ads, which can be irritating. Now we are learning how to do exact same thing. Okay. See, but if you look at it in another way, um, many times it also gives you some good offers. So yeah, it has its benefits. All right. Okay. So in affinity targeting, this is what happens. The moment I click on affinity, it gives me a lot of categories related to the personal interests of people, like beauty and wellness, banking and finance, food and dining. So if you're having a restaurant or something, or a cafe, and you want to target people who are really into they have their interest in food and dining and all that, you have subcategories below this also. Okay. If none of these categories match with the interest category that you want to target, you can create a new one. That's called custom affinity audience. So I have done that, for example. So I run two campaigns, one for my yoga classes, one for my tarot reading. Now for yoga, I can get maybe from health and fitness or lifestyle, something I can get something related to it. Okay. But for tarot card reading, I never got a affinity audience which is exactly matching with the service I'm offering. So I went ahead and clicked on custom affinity audience, and I gave some URLs of popular tarot websites and other things. And based on that, the system created a target group whom I can target. Okay. Madhav, in topic, you're targeting a page. Users are not relevant. Whether, so let's say I'm targeting a ESPN website, sports website with my yoga class ad. It doesn't matter whether you like yoga or not. If you go to that website, you might end up seeing it. Yeah. In this case, I am targeting the user. So if I target, let's say somebody, let's say here there's a yoga enthusiast or something like that, and you like yoga, Madhav, in that case, whether you are on a news website or a sports website, you might end up seeing my ad, because I am targeting you as a person who is having a particular interest. That's true. So there are overlaps between the topic and affinity categories, but the point is, in the affinity category, the person may not be on a website related to that topic. Yeah. If I am a book lover and you are a bookseller, Madhav, and you target a book lover, I can see your ad for your book on any website. But if you're targeting topic targeting, I might see it only on a particular website. So usually we use a combination of both, depending upon what works for each person. But these are the options that are available. Okay. Intent targeting, as I told you, people who are actively researching for certain products at that time, you can select. Remarketing, we will look at it in detail towards the end of today's class or next class. You have to first create a list, a remarketing list, to capture people who are visiting a particular page on your website. Then you can target that list. So we will see that entire process later. But the concept is, somebody expressed an interest in a product or service by visiting a page or exploring a product on your website. They did not make a purchase or they did not sign up the form. Remarketing involves re-engaging with that kind of users. I hope that is clear to everyone. Any doubt on that? Everyone, is that clear? Intent is a point in time, correct? What is happening at this moment? Okay. Next is, again, so in remarketing, what happens is, okay, I think I might as well take up the remarketing topic now if it's only 11 o'clock. Okay, so, okay guys, so we have two options. Let us finish remarketing right now, one option, and take a break, or we can finish display campaign creation right now and take up remarketing later. Which one would you prefer? Okay. No. So break will anyway come up later. I'm giving an option between remarketing and display campaign creation. Okay, we'll go for remarketing anyway. So in your AdWords account, there is a section called Audience Manager. Have you seen that? If you click on the tools icon. Okay, let me go there. In your AdWords account, if you click on the tool icon, there is a section called Audience Manager. If I click on Audience Manager, okay, I see remarketing and custom audience, two different tabs. Do you see that? If I want to create a, so basically remarketing involves two steps, guys. Okay. First step is creation of a remarketing list, and second is targeting that list. So because in the targeting section for topic targeting or affinity targeting, you already have certain categories to choose from. Yeah. In the case of remarketing, you need to first create a list in audience manager. Only then it can be selected at that time. So once you click on the tool icon, you go to audience manager from the tool icon under shared library, and you click on plus sign. You see this plus create remarketing list. When you do that, you have an option. It will ask you, do you want to create a remarketing list for your website visitors? Meaning, do you want to re-engage people who visited your website or the landing page? Or do you want to see and re-engage people who have downloaded your mobile app, your app users? Or do you want to re-engage with people who interacted with your YouTube channel or video? Somebody may have watched your YouTube video, they liked it. Do you want to target them? Or do you want a list of customer data that you, so I might have an offline business, okay, and I may have lot of information, email IDs and contact numbers and everything I have collected offline. I can create a list using that data. That is also one option. Or I can go for a custom combination of any of these. Are we clear on this? The different ways in which you can capture information. So if I go for website visitors, for example, we'll take up one for now. This is what I will see. Okay, so let me go back to the presentation here. So the audience manager is the centralized place where you can create such audiences. Remarketing lists for websites and YouTube user lists are also created here. And basically in campaigns, targeting, display network, audiences, placements and topics, all of this can be used. Okay, this is basically some data relating to earlier interface. You can ignore it. You can also exclude content. If you don't want your ads to show up on certain websites, it can be excluded also. That is also possible from certain websites or mobile apps. Okay, so let me skip smart display campaign because I'll take it up after the next module. I'm going to skipping to remarketing first. Yeah. So why remarketing? Data shows that many people who visit a website leave without completing the actions that marketers want them to take. And a lot of people add content or products to their shopping cart, but they don't follow through with their transaction. Have you seen that? We also do it sometimes, right? We might add things into the wish list, shopping list and all, but we may not go through with the payment. Very common. So these are all but expressions of interest in a particular product. So it becomes important for the marketer to re-engage with them. So remarketing is basically about reaching out to such people with some discounts or something so that they can come back and complete the purchase. Now, as I told you, Audience Manager is used to create a remarketing list. You will have an option to choose here. If I choose website visitors, for example, the first thing is I need to give a name for my audience. So if I'm going to create a remarketing list for, let's say, my yoga website, okay, people who are signing up for my latest retreat, if that is my intention, I will write the audience name as something like retreat audience. Just a hypothetical example, okay? And the list members will be people who visit that page. There are other options also here. I can say visitors of a page, and I can give the page URL as my page where there is information about that yoga retreat. Are we clear on this? I'm giving a name for this list to identify what kind of users are part of this list. Then I'm saying who can become part of this list. For that, I selected the criteria as people who visited a particular page. And which page, I mentioned the URL of people who visited my yoga retreat page. So far, is it clear? So we have decided what is the membership criteria to be part of that list. Okay. Then I can specify what needs to be the size of this list, which means, let's say Priyanka, you visited my yoga retreat page today, you became part of that list. By default, you will be in that list for 30 days. So when I say you will be in that list, I'm just saying that there's a cookie that is dropped on your browser which identifies you as a unique person. That cookie will last for 30 days by default. I can change the duration depending upon what I want, how long I want to keep it. Is that clear? So the list size is about that. So you also have the option to include people from the last 30 days. So if the system has data, they will include them also as part of the list. Otherwise, membership duration defines how long a cookie or a person will be kept as part of the list once they visit your website. Are we clear on this? Yashi, can we add a competitor URL if you are a new? No, you cannot. Because for this to work, you need to edit your HTML version of your page and include this tracking code on your page. So, I mean, there's a snippet that will be, so you can't have access to the HTML page of your competitor. Which part do you want me to repeat, Vanessa? Cookie. Okay. So, do you know what is a cookie, Vanessa? Sometimes when you visit certain websites, it will tell you, right? This website stores third-party cookies. So basically, a cookie is a small program which it drops on anyone who visits any website for that matter. That's why the second time you visit a website, it loads faster, right? So basically, it's some user information that the website stores about a visitor, which helps it to load faster and identify the user. Same way, in remarketing, what happens is when you click on an ad and you visit a website, a cookie is stored on your system, which the website can identify. So next time you visit, it can identify, okay, this is the same guy or person who visited these many days back. Okay. So it is so the moment you clear cache and cookies, it loses that information. So remarketing will not work if you constantly clear your cache and cookies every time you close your browser. So because that information is no longer available for AdWords or the website to retarget you. Okay. So what we are saying here is, when I say that, okay, people who visit this page on my website, they have to be part of this list, what I'm effectively saying is the cookie which identifies that user will be kept in this list. And if I define the membership duration as 30 days, for 30 days that cookie will be active. So my ads will be targeting these set of cookies, these set of users, wherever they're going. That is why when I visit Amazon and browse some product and I leave, I start seeing these ads. How are they targeting me? Purely because I have those cookies on my browser or system. Okay. I think everybody is clear with this concept, what we are doing. So I can define the membership duration here. And this is also the reason why sometimes you see certain ads following you constantly for certain number of days, and suddenly you notice they stop coming altogether. Have you noticed that? That is because the membership duration expired. So your cookie that which was part of the list is no longer part of the remarketing list. So you stopped seeing those ads. Okay. So then you can give a description of this audience. So basically that is when if you're working as a team, a lot of people are looking at the account. It will help for the other person to understand, okay, what is this list about? So list members. So the other thing is, if you want to track app users, mobile app users, again, you need to first give a name for the list. In this case, you can choose from people, all the users who are using your app, you can target them, or somebody who have used your app recently or has not used your app recently, or somebody who are using specified versions of an app. So let's say I have a new version of an app and I want to target this ad to people who have not yet updated to the new version. I can simply select used previous or used specified versions of an app. Or I want to target certain people who have taken certain actions within the app. Let's say I have an app for my yoga, okay, and this retreat event is part of the mobile app also, and I have few people who have clicked on this or navigated to this page for the yoga retreat on the mobile app, but they have not yet signed up. I can select this option, took specific actions within an app, and maybe define that, okay, people who have visited this particular page or who clicked on this, so that set of users will be targeted. Are we clear on this? And here you have an option to look up your app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store. You can search and select the app. Rest of the things remains the same. You can define for how long the person should be kept as part of the list. Yeah? Any doubt? All right. Custom audience is like this. You can create a customer list. So as I told you, sometimes I may have collected a lot of email IDs, phone numbers, all these things from people offline. I can create a audience list by uploading their email IDs or phone numbers. So there's a particular format in which you need to add this. That will be given. A template is there which you can download on this page. Just fill in the template in the CSV format as per what is required and upload it. So the system can retarget those guys. Okay. You can also use a combination of these different remarketing lists, and you can also create a remarketing list with people who have engaged with your YouTube videos or YouTube channels. Okay. Any doubts about remarketing concept? Yes, Martha. Okay, smart display cover later. Add formats. Mobile device IDs. Yeah. So if you have that data, you can upload it. So that's what I'm saying. These data are data people may collect offline or from third-party providers. All these. So AdWords cannot get these data for you. If you have this data, there is option to upload it. That's all. There might be certain service providers who cater to these kind of data. So if you happen to have, you can use it. Okay. All right. So shall we take a break? Are you finding it too much information already? What's the general mood feeling? We covered display network introduction, then we covered display targeting and discussed everything including remarketing. Now what is pending is we have to look at display ad format, campaign creation and conversion tracking. Three things. So it's 11:15 now. Can we meet at 11:45? 30 minutes break? Okay, my filter coffee is waiting. Okay. All right, guys. See you. All right. So let's just start. So we are starting off with display ad formats. And as I told you, on the Google Display Network, you have much more variety of ad formats as compared to Google Search Network. In Search Network, what do you have? You have the text ads, and you can have what we call as the shopping ads, right? These are the two things that you can have. Text ads are there on Display Network also, but apart from that, there are certain ad formats that you can find which you can target on the Display Network. One is called the Gmail sponsored promotions. Are you familiar with this? Sometimes when you open your inbox, a Gmail inbox, you might see certain ads, maybe mostly two ads on top under the promotions tab. If you click on it, it opens up it looks like an email, but you click on it, it opens up as a full-fledged ad, right? So that is called a Gmail sponsored promotion. That is something that you can create on Google Display Network campaign. The other thing, text ads, as I told you, you might have seen these kind of ads all over the place on whether it be websites or YouTube or even mobile apps. So text ads are possible to be created on both search and display network. Then you have display image ads. Image ads, very common. You go to any news website, sports website, or any other kind of website, you see these kind of ads. It contains both text and images. Sometimes just image, but otherwise text and image. Any part of the ad you click, it will redirect you to the final URL. Whereas in the case of a text ad, mostly you have to click on the headline, the text ad headline to redirect to the new place, right? So image ads are those ads which can have static images, it can have animations, it can have flash formats or HTML images. I hope this is clear. Then you can have mobile display ads. So these are basically image ads, but which are customized for mobile devices. So on mobile device, the same kind of image ads that you see, they are of a different dimension, right? Because it has to fit to the mobile screen. So what you're seeing on the left hand side are the pixel sizes that are required for creating ads on mobile. So if you have a graphic designer who designs ads for you, you can specify the pixel sizes depending upon what kind of ad you want. So you can have a small square ad, you can have a rectangle ad, you can have leaderboard ad, which is more like a ad at length, like what you see on top of a page from left to right. Or you can have vertical ad, which are called the skyscraper ads from top to bottom. So all these things. So they are customized for mobile devices. Is this clear? Then sometimes you see ads which can neither be classified as a simple image ad or as a video ad. These are ads which are called rich media ads. I don't know if you have come across these kind of, you must have come across these kind of ads. Uh, they might be first occurring as a small image ad somewhere on the website. The moment you hover your mouse over it or you click on it, suddenly it may fill up the entire screen. It may start playing videos. Have you seen those kind of ads? So basically it invites engagement with the user. Or sometimes it may look like you're peeling off a part of the screen from top to bottom. If you click on it, you can drag it out and all these things. Yeah. Oh, 1 second, guys. Sorry. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay. Okay. So there are two more bit strategies here. One is target search page location. and target outranking share. It is not shown here, but I'm just explaining to you. So target search page location means if as an advertiser, it will give you two options. Okay, one, I want my ads to show up only on the first search engine results page, or I can choose my ads to show up only on the top half of the first search engine results page. So you know that on the search engine results page, you have ad slots available 4 on top and 3 at the bottom. Yeah. So if you want your ads to show up only on the first page, you can select this option there. Or if you want to show up only on the top half, you can look at the second option. So Vanessa, we saw this in the first class, search engine results page. Yeah. When you enter a query, you get a page, right? That one. So here, how system will set a bid is, so if I'm writing yoga classes Hyderabad, for example, okay, system will set a bid for my keyword after taking into account historically what has been the kind of bids advertisers had when they showed up on the first page. Yeah, that will give it an estimate of what kind of bids constitute the first page bid. Accordingly, it will set a bid for me. Or if I'm selecting show up only on the top half, it will look at the advertisers whose ads were shown on the top half for that keyword. And it will look at, okay, what were the kind of bids that were set for those advertisers at that time. And accordingly, it will decide a bid for my keyword. Are you clear about this?
One question.
Yeah.
If there are 10 people who want to show up on top half and let Google decide the bid amount, right? And only 3 can show up on top half.
Correct.
How would it decide what is the bid amount for these 10 people based on everyone wants to be on the top half?
So it can decide the bid based on the performance, not performance history, based on what kind of bids the earlier advertisers set. But as you know, ad rank is determined by the quality score, which will be different for everyone. Here we are
So the
only
bid
talking
amount
about the
will be
bid
the
part of
same
it.
for all. Yeah, so bid amount will be the same for everyone who chose to be on the top half.
Could be.
Their quality score will decide the ad rank.
Exactly. The bid amount, they may all, if let's say both of us are having the same product and we both opt for show up only on the top half. Based on whatever is the data available, the system may set the equal bid for both of us. But obviously our quality score will differ. That will determine the final ad rank. Here we are only talking about the bid part of everything. So if there is anything that can be improved from a bid perspective, this will fill in. So the next one is even more interesting, the target outranking share. So now let's say your ad is already showing up on the first page. Okay. But you notice that there is a certain one advertiser whose ad is always showing up above your ad. They are having a better ad position. Can you think of such a scenario? Yeah. Now, you want to specifically target ads coming from this domain, this one domain, competitor domain. You can use target outranking share. So what it will do is, like how earlier we set a target CPA or target ROAS, here system will ask me to set a target outranking share. Okay. So let's say I keep this as 80%. Then it will ask me select the domain. Which domain do you want to target? So let's say, so Madhav, let's say I'm taking your as an example. Let's say you have a website madhav.com. Okay. Now that is always having a ad position better than mine, and I want to target it. So I will give the domain and I will say I want to set a target outranking share of 80%. Now what does this mean? It means every time ads from my domain and the competitor domain, in this case madhav.com, enter into an auction, okay, to compete for an ad slot. I tell the system to outbid my competitor domain, in this case madhav.com, in 80 out of 100 times. So every 100 times I enter into an auction with ads from madhav.com, system will try to outbid whatever bid was set by my competitor. Are you clear? So again, this does not guarantee that you are going to have a better ad position. Just that if there is anything that has to do with your bid that is affecting your ad position, this will correct it. That's all. But you also run the risk of focusing too much on one competitor. So all that thing is there. But this is just an option. One of the options that is available for you. Okay. Anybody has any doubts till now? Can we proceed? Clear? So that is, these are all the different bid strategies. Okay, outranking share is not clear. Outranking share, Google Doc has really funny names for the users. I saw some anonymous dinosaurs there. Okay, outranking share. So ignore the name, Vanessa. Just think about the concept. Okay, the outranking. You want to outrank your competitor. Can you think about it like that? You want to outrank your competitor. Share just means how many, what percentage of the times. So if I say I want to target an outranking share of 80%, it means out of 100 times I enter into an auction with my competitor, 80 times I want to outbid him or her. Very simple. Tell me, what is the doubt? If all our relevant competitors have organic and we are only the ad one, then page location can be achieved as per our desire. If I'm understanding your question correctly, Yashi, you are saying your competitors are not using ads, they are being featured by organic results. Of course. So if you don't have any competitor in the paid ad, that's great, no? Of course you will be showing up on the first, but that's not the case usually. So, but theoretically you're correct. Okay, page link. Okay, so can we get back to display campaign creation? Okay. So let me just recap. You gave your campaign name, you selected your geographical targeting, what country, city, whatever, language, and from there you select the bid strategy. That's where we took a detour. Okay, you select your bid strategy and set your daily budget. So far so good. Is it clear? Any doubt? Okay. Then you come to ad rotation, where, as you know, every ad group will have more than one ad. You will have a lot of variations, right? So system will try to optimize by showing the best performing ads more often if you select the first option. If you say do not optimize, if you are having 5 different ads in an ad group, irrespective of whether one is performing well or not, it will keep rotating and showing each ad giving everything equal importance. Is that clear? Then ad scheduling. Ad scheduling, again, I think we saw it in the search campaign also. If you want your ads to run on specific days or during specific times of the day, you can specify here. Otherwise, by default, it will run all through the day on all the days. And then you can set a start and end date if you wish to. Once you scroll down, you will see a set of options where you can choose to target specific devices. So this is something that is not there on search campaign. So please pay attention. Either you can go for the first option, which is show your ad on all devices, or you can pick and choose which devices you want your ads to be shown on. So if you feel there is maximum traction that you're getting or performance that you're getting, response you're getting from mobiles, you can uncheck computers and tablets. So you can pick and choose what kind of devices you want your ads to be shown on. Not just that, you can also pick and choose the operating systems or device models or networks. Okay, so you can choose to show your ads only on Android devices or only on iOS. You can do that. Device models, if you click on all device models, it will show you device models like Nokia, Motorola, Sony, Samsung, iPhone, all the different versions of iPhone. So you can pick and choose if you wish to any of the specific device models where you want your ads to show. And in networks, if you click on all networks, you will have options like depending upon your country. Like if you select India, you will have options like the different carriers like Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL, Reliance, all these different carrier networks will be there. So if you wish to target any specific network, you can do that. Now you may ask why we need so much of detail. It is just an option that is available for you if your analysis shows you that maybe your ads are performing better on one operating system or the other, or one device more than the other. The display network allows you to select only that. Again, this is also keeping in mind the fact that display network is very vast. So if you know that your target audience is limited to a particular section, this gives you the flexibility to narrow down your targeting to at the level of devices, operating systems, or even networks. Is this clear? Anybody has any doubts? And then another feature which is not there in search network called frequency capping. Okay, frequency capping means you can limit how many times your ad is being shown to a user by setting a cap on that. So as you know, on display network, how am I targeting people? I am targeting people based on their interest, based on their demography, all these things, right? So let's say I'm targeting somebody who is in the age group of 20 to 40, male, interested in reading books. Okay, so I have used demographic targeting, I have used interest targeting, correct? Now let's say Sandeep, you fit this description. Age group of 20 to 40, male, loves reading books. Do you think potentially you can see my ad regarding some book? You might see, right? Now, once Sandeep starts seeing this ad, he may continue to see this ad again and again, because from the AdWords perspective, this particular user is matching the targeting preference that I have set. All of you agree with that? But let's say Sandeep already saw my ad 5 different times and he has not taken any action. If the system continues to show my ad to him, do you think that is doing any good to me? Correct. So I want to further diversify who is seeing my ad, right? For this, I can set frequency capping. So I can say, so in this example, what I have given on the screenshot, I have set number of impressions as 10. I can set this at the daily level, weekly level, monthly level, or I can, and also at the level of campaign, ad group, or an ad. So let's assume I set it at the level of day, 10 impressions per day for this ad, which means every single ad under this campaign will not be shown more than 10 times in a single day to a single user. So Sandeep may see 10 times same ad, after which he won't see this ad. Same thing if I keep it at the campaign level, what will happen? Any single ad from this campaign, he may see a total of 10 ads from this campaign in a day. Beyond that, it will stop showing ad to him. Or if I say 10 impressions per month per campaign, what will happen? In a single month, in the month of May, Sandeep may see 10 different ads from this campaign, not more than that. Are you able to get the hang of this frequency capping? Everyone, any doubt? Do you think it is useful? All right. So once you set the frequency capping, location option, again, it's the same as what you had in search campaign. You can target people who are physically located in a space or who are interested in that location. But the same person see the 10 ad 10 times. Yeah, that is true. So this is just an example. Okay, I can keep it 10 per week or 10 per month. Yeah. So you can select maybe 1 per day, or you can select 5 per day. It's up to you. Sarabjit, our class is till 1:30. We have another half an hour to go. Okay. So is this clear, Vanessa? All right. I hope all of you are aware of the class timings now. 10 to 1:30. I mean Indian time, IST. Okay. So after this frequency capping, oh, okay. So yeah, so for you, I think another till 4 a.m. Okay, so I will try to finish it in maybe another 20 minutes. You can catch 10 minutes extra sleep. So you have an option for content exclusion in display campaign. Okay. So again, this is very important, guys, because as I told you, display network is very vast. So as much as you want to target certain things, you may also want to exclude certain things or exclude certain groups if you don't want your ads to show up against them. Okay. So this was introduced only recently, so to speak. I don't know how many of you remember that incident where there was this flight which went missing over the Indian Ocean, MH370. There's a lot of search and rescue operations and all. Yeah. So around that time, there was a lot of controversy which happened. I don't know if you're aware. Certain airlines ads got shown next to those news items, which was basically a contextual matching, something like that, because it matched the theme of airline or whatever, but which was in very bad taste. Okay, so the content exclusions assume significance because you don't want your ads promoting some products, something to show up next to some tragedy or some conflict or some sensitive social issues, right? So this option gives you an option to select whether you want your ads to show up on certain websites. So first category is digital content label. So if you can choose to exclude your ads to show up next to pages that are categorized for teens and older audiences or mature audiences. Okay, all these things. Or you can exclude content next to sensitive content like tragedies, conflicts, profanity, something that is sexually suggestive, sensational, all these things. Or you can choose not to show your ads next to games, live streaming videos, below the fold. Below the fold means you might be seeing one half of the screen of any website. What is not within the purview of what you're seeing, what you have to scroll down, that is below the fold. So you can opt out of showing your ads on these spaces. Okay, so if you don't find a certain category to fit your brand, you can opt out of it. Okay, any doubts here? Once you have set content exclusion, you move into ad group stage. Here you can give a name for your ad group and you can define your audience. So the audience part we have already covered, right? I hope I don't have to repeat it. You can select audience based on their interest category, based on the intent, or remarketing. Remarketing also. If you have already created the remarketing list in the audience manager, when you click on remarketing here, you can select the remarketing list. Or you can select demographics. Select the age group, gender, parental status, household income, all these things you can select at this stage. So if you're going for affinity, select the interest category over here. If you're going by intent, select the intent. If you're going by remarketing, after having created the remarketing list, select the remarketing list from here. If you're going by demographic, select the age categories. So if I'm targeting, let's say, a yoga retreat and trekking, if I want to target only people up to 44, I'll uncheck all the other boxes. If I'm targeting something purely for parents, I will uncheck not a parent. If I'm targeting something only for men, I will uncheck female. So depending upon what is your so household income, I am not able to select because this is targeting India. If it is for US, it may have been there. So that is currently available only for select countries, as you can see. Is demographic targeting clear, guys? Okay. Same way, you can go for content targeting, contextual targeting by selecting keywords, topics, or placements. Topics and placement I already showed you. Keywords also we saw an example of that dog food example. Just write the keywords one per line. System will come up with the theme. If it is topic, you can select from a list of topics like this. If it is placements, you can enter specific websites or search for specific YouTube channels or specific mobile apps. You can select them and keep adding them to the right side. So that is manage placement instead of topic. You are picking and choosing what YouTube video, what YouTube channel, or what website or what mobile app you want to target. Is this clear? So if you need to first search and see whether that is available to be targeted. If it's available to be targeted, you can add it over here. Yeah. Once this part is done, you can select whether in the automated targeting, do you want the system to automatically expand your targeting to find new customers above and beyond what you have selected. If you don't want, you can say no. If you want little bit of that, you can select conservative automation, where depending upon what audience you already defined, you are letting the system find more such customers within the current cost per customer. Or you can go for aggressive automation, where it can find as many new customers as possible around the same cost per customer. So that is a new option which has come up now. You can go for it or you can choose not to. Once you've finished the audience selection and targeting, the system will ask you to create an ad. So you have two options. You can either create a responsive ad, which is what we saw earlier, the ad which can act as both a text ad and image ad. Or if you have a graphic designer who has created an image ad for you, you can simply upload it from your laptop. Cost per customer means it's same as the cost per conversion, Madhav. When somebody clicks on your ad and converts, they become your customer, right? Till the point they convert, they are only a lead. So system will look at what were the kind of cost you incurred to get conversions, and it will try to get you more of such customers or clients. So basically this is just to, from a targeting point of view, it will try to target more people than what you have already set or defined in your interest category or your topic category. Is this clear? Yeah. So if you are going to select responsive ad over here, it will tell you, sorry, not responsive ad. If you're going to upload a already designed ad, it will tell you what are the kind of sizes it supports. So you can upload a GIF image, you can upload a JPG or PNG image. So basically what you can do is, to keep things simple, if you have a graphic designer who designs ads for you, just share with him or her this specification. So if you want a leaderboard ad or if you want a square ad, you tell them design an ad based on these pixel sizes within 150 KB in any of these formats. Once they have created those ads for you, you can simply upload it. Okay. But if you want a responsive ad, this is how you create a responsive ad. So responsive ad, you write a headline, description line, like just like how you write for a text ad. Remember how you wrote the text ad? Same way, I wrote a headline, yoga classes Hyderabad, new year offers, description, personalized yoga training, all these things. Then I gave my business name, I gave my final URL where I want the people to go to. Apart from that, I also have an option to upload images. So if I click on add asset, I have an option to add images. So I can upload my business logo. I can upload a couple of images that I want. Okay. So you see on the right hand side, depending upon the kind of image I uploaded, this will show up like an image ad. I think this is a better example than the one you saw earlier. Right, Madhav? So you can see an image, you can see a text, everything. But if my ad space does not allow for images, this logo will be removed, this image will be removed, it will just show up as a text ad. Okay. So I can, once I have written my text ad and uploaded the images and my business logo, I can either add it to an existing ad group or I can create the campaign here. Is this clear, everyone? Any doubt? So two options of creating an ad on display campaign. You can upload or you can create a responsive ad like this. Okay. Can I see a yes if it is clear? Okay. How about others? Any doubts? Okay. So if that is clear, our next topic is about conversion tracking. So I hope all of you can go ahead and create a display campaign today or next week. Your assignments will have all these instructions, whatever we have taken you through right away. Okay. Now we are going to look at how to set up conversion tracking. This is the last topic for today. Okay. So before I go ahead with it, what is conversion? A conversion is simply any action taken by a user who clicked on your ad and having visited your website, which adds value to your business. That's a conversion. So let's see this video first. Then I'll share the URL.
Now that you're investing your time and money in AdWords, do you ever wonder if your ads are working? If those ad clicks are turning into profits? Well, you don't have to wonder. AdWords has a free tool called conversion tracking that shows you what happens after a customer clicks on or views your ads. A conversion is when a customer does what you're hoping for after seeing your ad, like making a purchase or calling your business. There are quite a few ways to track conversions. It all depends upon your business goals. Let's take a look at how 3 different AdWords users use conversion tracking to calculate the benefits of AdWords for their businesses. Maria, tracking clicks that turn into purchases. Maria owns a clothing boutique. She recently started selling her clothes online and wants to know if her ads are boosting her online sales. She has an ad campaign for jackets and another for shoes. To track conversions, she adds a single snippet of JavaScript code to the confirmation page her customers see after making a purchase. Once she begins tracking, she learns that her jacket ads are generating a lot of sales, but her shoe ads are not. So she decides to put more of her advertising budget toward her jacket ads to increase her profits. She also improves the keywords and ads for her shoe campaign to increase conversions in the future. Tom, tracking phone calls. Tom owns Main Street Flowers. His website isn't set up for online orders, but he takes delivery orders over the phone. He sets up conversion tracking so he can know how many phone calls he's getting from his ads. He tracks calls made from his website by using free Google forwarding phone numbers on his site. He also uses Google forwarding numbers to track calls made directly from his ads. Jim, tracking app downloads and actions. Jim designs games for mobile devices. He uses conversion tracking to find out how many app downloads he's getting from his AdWords ads. He also tracks when people who already have his app saw his ad and make in-app purchases within the game. With the information they get from conversion tracking, these advertisers can calculate their return on investment with AdWords to make sure they're spending their money wisely. Maria makes $30 on each leather jacket she sells. With the help of conversion tracking, she calculates that she spends $10 on advertising for each purchase her ads generate, giving her a $20 return on investment with AdWords. Maria's happy to see that her ads are generating more value than what she's spending. That's a good return on investment. Thanks to conversion tracking, Maria, Tom, and Jim can tell which AdWords ads are bringing them business and make adjustments to their campaigns to boost their profits even more. To find out how to set up conversion tracking to achieve your advertising goals, visit the AdWords Help Center.
This is the URL for it. Any doubts from the video, guys, first, before we go ahead with the conversion tracking topic?
Hari, what is a typical budget for a conversion? Typically, I mean, if you're making, there was some number there, $30. Was that her profit for every leather jacket? And $10 of that profit goes into ads. What is a typical ad budget?
Sorry, your voice got cut. What is the typical ad budget? I can't hear you. No, I'm not audible. Sorry, you are not audible. Okay. Just reconnecting my microphone. Can you hear me now? Okay, I think my connection just got disconnected in between. So, can you repeat the question, please? I heard you were asking what is a typical budget, something like that.
Yeah, typical ad spend budget as a percentage of total revenue or profit. What is a typical thing that you've seen with brands?
So again, I can't give a general figure, Mathav, because it's highly dependent upon what kind of product you are having. Okay, so I can tell you one thing. For example, I can share my example of I regularly run one campaign for tarot reading. okay, on my campaign. Because mainly I started it for this training purpose only, but then it clicked. So I spent about 3,000 rupees a month. That's my ad spend, and I get a conversion of about 15 conversions for that 3,000 rupees, or maybe somewhere between 10 to 15. That's what I get on a monthly basis. But the amount of traffic I get is somewhere more than 1,000 on a monthly basis. That many clicks I get
So
on the
that
ad. Yeah. So, but it's just
so while
yeah. Tell me, come to me.
yeah, so while I'm not interested in the number, but as a percentage, that 3,000 that you're spending,
Hmm.
what percentage does it make out of your total profit or total revenue? Uh,
Uh,
can you give us, if
that will
you're
be somewhere.
spending 3,000,
That will be somewhere less than 10% actually.
10% of your profits or
10% of
revenue?
the revenue, less than 10%.
10% of the revenue.
But again, I
Okay.
can't. Why I refrain from giving any sort of that kind of number, because this is a very modest budget, okay, and I'm not really focusing on further optimizing it or anything. But depending upon the kind of budgets you have, these things can change, and also the kind of products you have. The service I'm offering is not very expensive kind of a service or anything, but you can still uh, use campaigns with a small or medium budget to advertise something products which are really expensive. To give you a slightly different example, this is about AdWords. But so I have this particular retreat coming up in July. So I ran a very small campaign, spent only about 1,200 rupees on Instagram for the retreat in Kashmir, and I got 8 conversions from that. Now each conversion is worth 20,000. So that is like a huge kind of a, if you look at the level of revenue vis-a-vis the ad spend, right? So what, while I can give you the numbers, what I would encourage you to do is each product or each service by itself is unique. So you need to figure out what is the kind of budget you are willing to spend, and within that budget what is the best you can get out of the campaign. I hope that's clear. All right, so now we will look at how to set up this conversion tracking thing. So in the AdWords account you have a section for setting up conversion tracking. Have you seen that? If you go to click on your tools menu, you will see measurement. Under that, you will see conversions. If you click on conversions, you will be taken to this particular page. Yeah. Now on this page, it will give you ask you whether you want to set up conversion for website, your mobile app, or you want to track your phone calls, or do you just want to import conversions from another system? So, like some people might be already using some third-party softwares or programs to track conversions on their website. So if you want to import from there, you can use that. We'll look at the website part right now. If I click on website, it will take me to this page where first I need to give a name for the conversion action. So if I want, let's say I have a option to submit a form on my tarot website. Anybody who wants tarot reading, they can just go there and submit a form. And I want to track that form submission. Okay. I can maybe give a name something like tarot inquiry. Fine. So that's the conversion name. Second, I need to select a category. What category of conversion will it fall under? Is it a sale? Is it a sign up? Is it a form? I mean, a lead? Or is it simply somebody seeing a very important page that I want them to see? I can select it. So in this case, what will it be? It could be something like a lead or a sign up, right? If I'm selling some product, I would be selecting purchase or sale. Once I've done that, then the next section is about value. I need to define what conversion value does it involve. If I'm having somebody to fill up a form, do you think there's any conversion value in that? Is there any monetary transaction taking place? Nothing, right? So in that case, I will select don't use a value, because I am not having any financial transaction happening for this conversion. But sometimes it may so happen that there is a financial transaction happening, but it's the same value for any conversion. For example, again, going back to my earlier example, on the Taro website, there's a payment option. There's only one payment link. So every time somebody clicks on that payment link, it's the same amount that is getting transacted. Okay. So if I'm having the same value for each conversion, I can select the first option. The moment I click on use the same value for each conversion, it will open up a space where I can enter the conversion value. Okay. Are you clear about both the options? Don't use a value and use the same value. Everyone. Now, typically for an e-commerce website, or I will repeat, Yashi. So let me show you from the interface itself. If I go to my conversions page, and I click on this plus, website, first option is I can enter a name, conversion name, right? So if I say I am writing Taro payment, category will be purchase or sale. Is that clear? Then I need to assign a value. So if every value, let's say, so I can choose the currency here. So if my currency is INR, I will select Indian rupee. And if my conversion value is, let's say, 2000 rupees. So I will specify for every conversion, report the value of conversion as 2000 rupee in the AdWords account. Is this clear? Okay. If it's only a form sign up, I don't want it, right? I can simply say don't use a value. Now, if my website have multiple products, everything is having a different price, I will select the second option, use a different value for each conversion. Though I am selecting this, it is still asking me to enter a default value. Can somebody guess why? Very good. Could be an average value. See, when you use different value, what happens is you need to edit your conversion tag to use transaction specific values. Each transaction will have a different value, right? If one product cost 100 rupee, another cost 500 rupee, another cost 1000 rupee, depending upon what the user selects, it has to report a different value each time. All of you agree on that? Now, this also involves taking the assistance of your web developer to ensure that upon each conversion or sale, the specific conversion value gets passed on to the conversion tracking code. Okay. So, in an event where that passing on of the value does not happen for whatever technical issue or any other reason, what you give as a default value here will be reported as your conversion value. That is the relevance of this part. Otherwise, typically whatever the website passes on as the conversion value, that gets reported by the AdWords account. Is that clear? Any doubt here? All right. So I am going to select this as my same value for each conversion. So if we have order value was 4000, will it track? Of course. This is once you purchase something for 4000, the system will pass on that, because your conversion tracking code is implemented on your website. So the page will communicate to the tracking code, it will pass on the value. If it doesn't happen, it will substitute 2000. What is the default value here? So it's like something is better than nothing kind of a situation. Uh, so count here means, see, you can count a conversion in two different ways. As you can see on the right hand side, if you select every, So I see an ad, I click on it, and I go to the website. I bought one product. That's a conversion. All of you agree? Now I liked another product. I bought that also. If I choose every as the count, it will count that as a separate conversion. And I buy a third product. Conversion will be counted as 3 different conversions. Is that clear? So though the click on the ad was only a single click, system will record 3 different conversions by the person. Okay. So in every, your focus is on each and every unique conversion. You value it. So that is what you're tracking. On the other hand, if you choose one, I clicked on the ad one time, even though I may have bought 3 different products, it will all be counted as a single conversion. So here the focus is on how many unique ad clicks generated conversion for you. So yeah, let's say Yashi, you clicked on my ad, came to my website, and you, on behalf of you and 2 other friends, let's say you submitted sign up forms for the retreat. 3 different sign up forms I received, but 1 ad click. So if my count was 1, this entire thing will count as a single conversion, not 3. Are you getting the difference between every and 1? Any doubt?
Hari,
Yes.
I got the difference. I understood the difference, but what's the benefit?
Benefit. That's what I'm coming
I
to.
mean,
So
why do I? Okay.
yeah. So if you are having an e-commerce website where every other product is having a different price and everything, it is highly recommended to go for every. Otherwise, it will become very confusing. I might buy a MacBook laptop and a pen. 2 different conversions, completely different price range. But if I choose one, it will show up as, let's say, something like 80,000 rupees for one conversion. So if you're having multiple products, everything having a different prices and everything, typically an e-commerce kind of a scenario, it's recommended to go for every. But there will be certain advertisers who are more concerned or who are more interested in understanding how many unique users or unique ad clicks generated leads or generated sales for them. For those people, you can select one, so that you are not so let's say Vanessa, you have a website. I clicked on your ad, I bought 10 different items. Okay, 5 other people clicked on your ad, they didn't buy anything. Okay, so though 10 different items got sold from your website, it was all coming from a single click, right? You may have gotten charged for all the 5 clicks, but all the revenue came from a single click. So if the person or the advertiser is interested in keeping track of how many unique clicks actually generated the revenue for me, and you want to focus on the users, you can go for one. Otherwise, for every other practical purpose, every is what people go for, because usually we are interested in keeping a tab on what are the unique conversions that are happening. So one is focused on the conversion, other is focused on the users who clicked on the ad. You're keeping a tab from that perspective. Would I be not charged extra for every? No, not at all. This is just reporting. We are just selecting how you want it to be reported. That's all. Okay. Then we have a concept called conversion window. This is just like that cookies in the remarketing list. So let's say today you clicked on my ad, Sandeep. Okay. You came to my website, you read about all the tarot reading and stuff like that, but you did not fill up the form. You did not sign up. If my conversion window is 30 days, default is 30 days. Next time, let's say after a week, you remember about my website. You may have bookmarked it somewhere or you remember it. You directly come to my website. You didn't even click on any ad. And now you convert. You sign up the form or you make a payment. Still, system will track you and attribute your conversion to the click that happened today, though the actual conversion happened 1 week later. Why? Because I have set my conversion window as 30 days. So basically, this duration conversion window refers to how long should you wait before somebody converts. And why is this important? If you look at our own user behavior, the moment we see an ad and click on it, do we purchase something? Very rarely, right? We might still go ahead and check out other products and things and all, and we will come back. Often that is how users behave. Yeah. So to account for that, so if I don't set a good enough conversion window here, what will happen? I may have gotten certain leads from AdWords ads, but purely because they may not have converted then and there, I will miss out on tracking them. Do you understand the importance? Everyone? Any doubt here? Vanessa, is it clear? Sandeep? Okay. So Sandeep, what I'm saying is, we don't always buy something or sign up for something immediately after clicking on an ad, right? We might revisit later, right? So to account for those kind of conversions where the person may have gotten in touch with your website through your ad first, but may have actually converted after a certain time period, you can use the conversion window. Now the conversion window will not work if the person had cleared their cache and cookies, obviously. So I click on your ad, Sandeep, I visit your website and I immediately clear all my cache and cookies. Tomorrow I come back to your website and convert, it can't recognize me. So assuming users who don't clear their cache and cookies, it can attribute it to the click which they have made few days back. So according to your point of view, daily basis report should be there. Yes, Yashi. So you have an option to start from either 1 week to up to 90 days. So default time period is 30 days, which is a good enough time period, I guess. Okay. If a user convert after this window, will Google not charge? See, charging is a separate issue altogether. How you get charged is based on what is your bid strategy. Okay. So if your bid strategy was cost per click, the moment that user had clicked earlier, you would have gotten charged. Okay. If your what to say, if your bid strategy was cost per conversion, for example, then yes, once this records as a conversion, only then you'll be charged. So if you're outside of the conversion window, it will not be counted as a paid conversion. It will have counted as a normal thing. But the point is, you will miss out on getting an accurate representation of how your ads performed, which is also important. Now you're spending money on this, you're running a campaign, so you will lose track of how you're getting conversions. Are they through organic means or are they through your ads? So as a marketer, that's also something that you need to keep track of. Or if you're doing it on behalf of your clients, that is something you need to show to them, right? You can tell them, though this conversions came up little late, they were because of AdWords. You can show it to them. Okay. So any doubt about conversion window? Is it clear? Okay. So similarly, like for clicks, you can conversion. You can also look at impressions. After an impression, how long do you want to track? Same way, I told you, you need to have at least 15 conversions in the last 30 days before conversion-based automatic bid strategies can work for you. So if you check this box, you're allowing the AdWords system to use the conversion data that you're generating to be used for your automatic bid strategies, conversion, CPA, ROAS and all. They will be able to access this data. And attribution means you can attribute the credit for your conversion to either the last ad that got clicked or the first ad that got clicked. Different advertisers will have different preference. So depending upon what, typically I choose last click. So I may have 5 different ads in my ad group. Sorry. I may have 5 different ads in my ad group. Let's say today you saw one ad, tomorrow you saw another ad, and if you happen to click on the ad that got shown tomorrow and then convert, I can attribute that credit for that conversion to the last clicked ad. Okay, or I can attribute to the first clicked ad. Depending upon which ad gets the credit, it can affect your ad rotation. That ad will get more preference next time. Yeah. So once you've done all this over here, selected your conversion name, category, value, how do you want to count the conversion, and conversion window, you can click create and continue. I don't want to create it there because my interface will be cluttered with tracking codes. So I'll show it over here. Once I've done all this, I click create and continue. Okay. So it will take me to a page where it will give me 2 different tags. One is called the global site tag. This is a tag that you need to add to each and every page of your website. And this is something that will also help you with your remarketing list. Okay. So this tag that you're seeing over here in gray color, you need to copy it and put it in the HTML version between the head tags of your page. So if you don't know how to do it, just email it to your web developer, they will do it. This tag, global site tag, has to be added to every page. It helps with conversion tracking, it helps with remarketing lists. The second tag, which is at the bottom of the page, is called the event snippet tag. This is the tag that you have to add to the specific page where the conversion is happening. So if I have a page where a payment is happening, or if I have a page where a form sign up is happening, on the thank you page, the page that the user goes after that, I need to add this event tag, which will report the actual conversion value or conversion quantity and all that things to the AdWords interface. Is this clear? Everybody? Any doubt? Okay. What's the question? So once you added these two, the last page that you get is, so this was the conversion tracking code for the website visitors to my Yogashala website. It will say done. When I click on done, that gets added as a new conversion tracking code with status unverified. It will become into verified or confirmed once I upload it on my website. Okay. Suppose we paste this code and after some days we make some changes in our settings. You mean changes to the conversion tracking code here? So you need to update the code after that. That's right. You make any changes to that code, like let's say you change the conversion window or something like that, you need to update the tag again. Okay, so that's, I think we went overboard by about 7 minutes. Sorry about that. But we completed all the topics for today. Remarketing we already covered before the break. So please share your feedback for today's class before you log out. That's important. There's a new feedback form. We improvised a bit. So just take a minute of your time and complete it. Tanvi, you had a doubt or somebody else had a doubt which you wanted to clarify at the end of session about some blog? Who asked that? Okay, so just wait for a couple of minutes. If others don't have any more doubts about what we covered today, we'll take up your question. Meanwhile, in LMS, complete week 1, 2, and 3 by next week. Can you guys please do that? For week 3, it will be creating of a Google campaign, AdWords campaign for display network. Okay. You will also have a quiz which you can cover. And those of you who have not completed the week 1 still, I would highly recommend please do it, because otherwise all the assignments will become too overwhelming by the time you reach week 4. We are going to have a little bit more, you will have to spend more time on the week 4 assignments. So please try to complete it by the time it's next week, all the assignments till now. If you are facing any difficulty with respect to completing assignments, please feel free to post on the Q&A forum so that some of us can take a look into it and help you out. Those of you who have not completed week 1 or 2 assignments, is it due to time constraints, or is it because you're not able to understand how to do it? What is it that is bothering you? You are not able to understand the content. You mean what to do? Taking a lot of time. So Neeraja, specifically, are you talking about search campaign creation? On the whole, okay. So take your time, just set aside 1 hour, 2 hour some time and sit through it. If you want, you go through the recorded video of that session, just the part where I was explaining the campaign creation, that will help you. If you still have doubt about any specific step, Neeraja, just post it on the forum so somebody can help you out on that. Okay. Take it one step at a time, so that you know where exactly are you feeling stuck. Sarabjit, how can you write more than 80 characters in an ad? So again, I think you're talking of ad extension, Sarabjit. Okay. So if I can take you back to my campaign. In the ad, you have something called extensions. You are asking about, see, if I'm writing a new ad, this is the maximum limit. I can't write more than 80. That's not possible. So if you're seeing any such ad, please post it on the forum so that we can take a look at it. Okay. But otherwise, you cannot write an ad which is more than 80 character limit long in the description. Okay. Tanvi, your query is that the dashboard menu does not appear, so that's an AWS issue. Okay, it's not related to AdWords, so that's why I said please wait. So is there anyone else, any other doubts regarding, have you all taken the feedback form? Yeah. Can you confirm if you have taken the feedback form? If you don't have any other doubts, you can log out. Okay, Madhav. Bye bye. Sarabjit, good night. Sorry to keep you awake so late.